What's bubbling, magical people? Welcome back to the Witching Hour with Miss Merlin, where we like to talk about all things witchy and magical. I am your host, Kimmy, aka Miss Merlin, psychic medium and shamaness, and witch extraordinaire. So let's jump on in. It is Lunasa. It's also a long weekend here in Canada, civic holiday weekend, and I was really guided to do an additional reading for you guys. So I don't know if there's some of my listeners out there who might be struggling. Mercury Retrograde has been particularly nasty this time around, it seems. So I'm not sure who might need a little extra guidance or a little extra confirmation or validation or just something. Okay, so that's what we're going to do this week. All right, so blessed Lunasa weekend, Lammas weekend, whatever you're celebrating. And if you're not celebrating, I hope you're having a wonderful time. Please bear with me. I seem to be losing my voice for some reason. I don't know why. Not sick, don't have a cold or anything. I do have a bit of allergies, but I'm not sure that's it. I think something's kind of maybe going on with my throat chakra. Not sure. But anyways, bear with me. So again, this week, since it is Lunasa, I'm going to be using the Season of the Witch Lammas Lunasa Oracle by Lorraine Anderson and Juliet Diaz. So I just paused it and shuffled because I know some of you like the sound of that and some of you don't. All right. So I've laid out a few cards that came jumping out of the deck here. And the first one we have is weeds. So neglecting to address the weeds within will prevent you from abundantly receiving. Now, the first thing that struck me is my eyes were immediately drawn to the word address. All right. And if I could show you the visual on this card, it is a woman walking up to what looks like a very spooky, haunted house. So this may have something to do with your address, where you live, the environment in which you are living right now. Okay, so weeds can be such a nuisance in a garden, spreading like, well, weeds, and choking the life out of your otherwise healthy plants. Wounds and blocks that are left ignored are a lot like these weeds. They only spread through your spirit. They expand, reseeding themselves and filling up every space in your being until it becomes such a problem that you have no other choice but to address it. It may seem sudden and unexpected, but these spiritual invaders have been growing just below the surface for some time. Your ancestors and guides have drawn you to this card and this message because they're asking you to begin the process of healing. What you have not wanted to confront, there may be old traumas, blocks, and hurts that may be festering within and preventing you from experiencing love, abundance, freedom, growth, success, joy, and other high vibrational feelings that you had hoped to achieve. You are spending too much time focusing on what you would like to call into existence while ignoring the nuisances of the blocks that are preventing you from receiving the desired manifestations. Therefore, to answer your question, it isn't a no, but rather a not right now. There's still some work to be done. And I don't think that this is just a starting place here, right? I think that there's just a little maintenance, all right, that you might have been neglecting. All right? So weeding your spiritual garden needs to be done. And also, since I was saying Mercury retrograde has been particularly mean, it's not really that he's being mean to us. It's just he's really making us focus and face certain things. I know, for example, one thing that I have been, one thing that's been illuminated for me is my relationship to toxic men and how much I hate them. Like even when they have nothing to do with me. I think that's why there's something happening with my throat chakra, because I have been increasingly vocal. Let's call it that. In calling tripping over my tongue, specific things out that I am seeing out in public. So I think I just need a little bit more balancing to my throat chakra, but also I think that it was just overdue, because a lot of my wounding and trauma was around me not using my voice. So I think I was just maybe went a little too much. So finding the balance within that as well, right? But also, you know, when it comes to voice, setting those boundaries and setting them effectively and firmly. But also, again, finding the balance in maybe the gentleness. Maybe that's a lesson for me in which I speak. I'm very blunt sometimes. And when I'm triggered, I can be aggressive. So that's definitely something I'm working on. Perhaps me talking about that is because maybe someone else is experiencing the same thing right now. And you can resonate with that. All right, so the next card that we got is Prayers to the Earth. And it's really, really lovely. It's a woman in a river or a creek, and she's surrounded by flowers and kind of giving an offering. And last week, if you tuned into the Lunasa Lamas episode, Crystal was here, and we were talking about certain ways to celebrate and what this Sabbath is really all about, and offering up of intentions or prayers or things you wish to release is one of the things you can do within this. It's a fire festival, right? So you can write things down that you wish to release, and also write things down that you wish to bring in also, and burn them. That's always great, right? The fact that she's in a river here is particularly cleansing energy as well. So there's a lot of cleansing here, clearing out, things like that going on, okay? So the key words for this card here is gratitude and acknowledgement of blessings. So becoming present with the blessings that you already have, may gratitude fill your heart. So when we offer gratitude for the things that are already in our life, we get on that wavelength, or so to speak, of abundance, right? So you are actually essentially calling in more as you are offering gratitude for what you already have. So many, if not all, practices for all Sabbaths are born out of deep gratitude for another day of life, another morsel to eat, or shelter from the rain. These celebrations were moments to pause, reflect, and express sincere thanks for all the blessings, grand and small. In today's world, however, it's easy to get swept away by the desire for more without taking the time to acknowledge all that you have already. From the breath in your lungs to the shoes on your feet, there's always something to give thanks for. You're being called to shift your focus from what you may be lacking or incomplete and direct your attention to everything that is already present in your life. Share your appreciation with others, thank the rivers and the clouds, and celebrate all that you have and all that you have had to endure and what it has taught you. Open your heart, let gratitude fill any empty spaces or feelings of lack. The more time you spend in gratitude, the more you will fertilize the energy of growth and transformation. So again, like I was saying, the more that you're on that wavelength or the energy of gratitude, the more abundance you're calling into your energetic field. All right, so even just starting, your morning or whenever you think of it and just list 10 things, right? I am grateful that it is not so ridiculously humid today. I am grateful that I get to be here with you guys. I have the opportunity to use my throat chakra to pass messages and knowledge and hopefully some laughs and wisdom and joy onto you guys. Okay, I'm grateful for the roof over my head. I'm grateful for my pets. I'm grateful for my wonderful friends. I am grateful for my children, the loves of my life. I am grateful for the beautiful space that I have to be in, and the fact that I do have this quiet, solitary space for whenever I need it. I know a lot of people don't have that. I'm grateful for the food in my fridge. I'm grateful for the wonderful activities I'm going to get to participate in today. And I'm grateful for the breath in my lungs. That's 10. All right. So if you guys can list 10 things, that is automatically going to shift your frequency in that moment and put you on a higher frequency of abundance. So the more that we can stay in that. And I know a lot of us are struggling, and the word I want to say is suffering, okay? So someone out there, or maybe a few of you, really feel like you're being made to suffer through some things right now. All right. And that is not the intention. Okay. It's never, ever the universe's intention to make you suffer or make you struggle or make you pay for something. And I know I've had this discussion with some of my clients recently too. A lot of them have been feeling like, man, like, what did I do in a past life? What karmic debt am I paying off here? And it's not like that. It's really not like that. And we really won't have a full understanding of how it all really works until we're not a part of it anymore. We've crossed over. That's really only when we're going to have the full understanding of it. But it's not intentional. All right. You don't deserve it. There's nothing that you're doing that is making you stay in it longer. Okay, all of these things are coming up for me to pass on right now. So, hold on. I'm getting a message here. Let me just kind of work it out. Okay, basically, it's not your fault, and whatever struggles or hardships or things that might be going on for you right now is not a deserved thing. All right, just try the listing 10 things, or write 10 things down. Maybe start an abundance little entry for your journal or in your planner or something like that. That might help as well. All right, so the next one that we have is craftsmanship. So empower yourself with the knowledge that each challenge brings you closer to mastery. Keywords here: mastery, dedication, and consistency. So you are the master craftsman of your life's path, and it is time for you to step up and step into your role as a leader of how your journey unfolds. No one can be better than you. And in fact, you are so rare and unique that there is only one of you in all existence. There's no one else who thinks, behaves, speaks, or feels exactly like you, and that's your superpower. But your path will be full of ups and downs. This is not a reflection of how talented you are or whether or not this is the right path. Everyone, even masters, experience failures. You're being asked to learn the value of pushing through challenge and setbacks. Obstacles are stepping stones towards your growth, not a sign to give up and change course. Remember that mastery is a process, and each setback brings you closer to success. With patience and consistency, you could well be on your way to standing tall as the authority of your craft. It doesn't matter if you're applying this effort to being a CEO, a parent, or the pillar of your community, or managing a tiny homestead. This card reminds you that the results will match your dedication. Additionally, receiving this message encourages you to embrace a growth mindset and remain open to feedback, learning new skills, and seeking out new knowledge. So I think I have to also face the realization that perhaps maybe I am sick. Because all of a sudden I just had to pause it there because I started coughing and now I'm getting all stuffy. So, not to say that the other messages don't apply, I think they do. But also, I do think that I might be getting a little bit sick. Or my allergies are going a little crazy. Anyways, we'll see. So the next one that we have here is community service. Love that. And no, this isn't about forced community service. Nope. The balm of your wombs lives in the spark that radiates love and brings healing to the world. Love that. Also, this is card number 8. Now, the 8 being that number of infinity. So that whole like what goes around comes around type of energy. Like the energy that you put out is what is brought back to you. That the infinity symbol, right? That's kind of what I'm getting here. Okay, additionally, I think someone is getting a lot of number messages at this time too, and be sure you were to be looking those up, all right? Card numbers or page numbers. I should have been shouting those out. So this one, community service, it's card number 8, like we just talked about, but it's on page 47. So you might want to look up number 47. I did notice that the other card was on page 143. So 143 and 47. I want you to just quickly Google those numbers, okay, because they're going to apply for you. All right. So the keywords to this is giving back, acts of kindness, offerings, and resources. Now, the community service card has appeared to bring a beautiful message of how transformative and healing kindness can be in your life. Moments of compassion and generosity have the ability to brighten someone's day, inspire hope, affirm support, and become one more deposit towards healing the wounds of humanity. This card is a gentle reminder to actively seek opportunities to give to a worthy cause, whether that's your favorite charity or helping a next-door neighbor. Doing so is not just for the benefit of others, but also a way to nourish your own soul. Kindness can only be given from an open heart, willing to allow the essence of love to channel through. By consciously choosing to be kind, you are affirming your desire to experience greater connection, which is inevitably return to you in the form of increased finances, experiencing more love, and more openness to opportunities, fulfillment, purpose, and the manifestation of your most heartfelt desires. Now, this just reminded me of something that I saw this morning. So I was scrolling TikTok this morning, and there was a video of a guy that had seen, there was a homeless man that had come into his garden and was just sitting in his chair and was eating some chips that he'd found sitting there. And he was British, so he called them crisps. But instead of like just chasing him off, the guy went out and said hello, and he offered him a hot chocolate, and he made him one, and he went out and talked to him, and the man was so charming. And he said to him, he said, "Your gate was open and I wasn't trying to intrude. Just I've been on my feet all day and that looks like such a comfy chair. He said, most people chase me off and you've been so kind and so generous." And I kept thinking to myself, like, you know what? That very well could have been like an angel in disguise. And now that man and his wife are going to be mad blessed, because instead of just doing what a lot of other people had done and just treated that person like they weren't a human and like they didn't exist and just chasing them off and being mean and whatever. He took a moment to be generous and have a conversation. And I just couldn't help but feeling like, I think that was a test for you, and I think you passed. And I really hope that I'm right, and that man and his wife do get blessed. And anyone else who finds themselves in those situations. But that just came to mind, and I just wanted to share that with you. And with that, we're going to talk about the next card, which is welcoming the harvest. Woohoo to that. Expect growth and expansion as your hard work is paying off. It's time to celebrate. And that is indeed what the energy of Lunasa Lammas is all about. It's that celebration period of the first harvest when you've got the wheat and you've got the corn and you've worked as a community to help clear each other's fields and working together. And before you have to do all that hard work of preparing all the harvest for the winter to come and doing the next part of it, because this is the first harvest, right? The second harvest of all the other stuff and all the preparations that go into that. It's a lot of hard work. So celebration before that period, okay? So you've been doing a lot of hard work, all right? And we always have more to do. But we have to take those moments in between to have celebrations and to celebrate ourselves. Okay, 147. Next number, because that's the page number. So the keywords for this is results and return on investment. Yes, we like that. Congratulations are in order. You've worked very hard and stayed the course, and now you can welcome the benefits of all your efforts. Receiving this card is a sign that what you have inquired about is well on its way to success, and you should move forward if you have not done so already. This card doesn't just represent short-term gains, but also long-term continued success. If you are inquiring or interested in a business or a career, the presence of this card is a clear sign that you're on the right track and you should continue down this path. Your determination, focus, and drive are fueling excellent results. Not only will you be successful, but you can expect to continue to grow and expand for many years to come, enjoying all the financial rewards and praise that will surely come along with your achievements. Only good things can come from this card when this reading is about love. This card can mean increased commitment in a relationship, restoration of harmony after maybe some troubled times, or if you're single, the potential to meet a stable and successful love interest who is ready to be a long-term partner. Well, that is good news in all ways. Yay, we like that. Okay, so the next card number is in the book is going to be 44, and they were pulling my attention to that. So 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, successions of 4, okay? That could be an additional synchronicity sign for you. Also, daisies, okay? That Justin Bieber song also coming to mind there. He's done a lot of healing too. He's coming through, I guess, the energy of that, using as a representation. All the stuff on his new album, apparently he wrote himself. So really showing his vulnerability and showing his talent coming through, kind of a resurrection for himself, I think, too. So we'll take that as a great example. Thank you. And yeah, if you want to check out that song, Daisies, again, it's super cute. I like it. All right, so we're actually going to get some messages from the fairies, actually, too, because today, well, this weekend, Sabbath, is the Fae are really, really active during this time. So we'll get some messages from them. So this is the magical messages of the fairies. That's what I'm using here. Just going to pause to shuffle. Okay, guys, I hit pause, and then my eyes went to the time. 24 minutes, 44 seconds. I cannot make this stuff up, okay? So, succession of fours. All right, you might want to look that up too. So the first card that we have here is spring. So this is something, we're not in spring energy, of course, but something new is blooming here. All right. Like I said, there might be a little bit of maintenance to do in weeding your garden, just moving out a little bit of residual energy. Okay. Just to allow space for new things to come in, new things to bloom. Okay. We want to let some of those seeds get that sunlight, right? Not let our gardens get choked out there. So something brand new is about to manifest and start for you. So you've been moving out the old remnants of an old cycle, old pattern, old belief system. I think it more has to do with the beliefs, the lack. That seems to be coming up a lot. Not believing like you deserve good things. Okay? That's really coming through too, the whole self-worth thing. So something is about to fully manifest for you. Again, we're moving out some residual stuff there, so you might have to do a little bit of maintenance, a little bit of cleaning up, all right, just to help that energy move out and help your new cycle begin, all right? Be yourself. The situation is calling for you to be your authentic self, which is the basis of your personal power. Now, I feel like, excuse me, yeah, definitely getting sick. Okay, this situation calls for you to be authentic. Now, this is for abundance, is what I'm thinking, right? If you are trying to manifest something for yourself, especially if you're trying to start your own business or anything along those lines, trying to start something new, maybe you're starting a new job, you want to meet new people, like-minded people, goes for that too. Be yourself. When you're 100% authentic, that draws in the people who are going to be in that space with you, right? Who are going to be reciprocal energy exchanges with you, okay? And however form that energy comes, okay? So that is going to bring you your most abundant timeline when you just allow and get over the fear of being seen, okay? Express your individuality. That is another card here. You might fall on your face a time or two, okay? And that's all right. That's all right. That's what the one other card was talking about. Even masters have failures. This is something I've kind of been experiencing too, because a lot of my viewership from before was for just like my tarot and things like that. And then when I started to add other things, my certain things weren't getting the reach, and I was like, am I doing the right things? And you know, if I posted stuff that was just me being silly and me just being myself, videos weren't doing that well. And I was like, well, maybe I shouldn't do this. And I was like, no, like this is me. And it's going to pay off eventually. Right? I'd rather not be received than have to be fake to be received. Does that make sense? So I had that revelation that I don't care, you know, come what may. It doesn't really matter. If something is not coming across to people, then whatever. I am not doing this really for anyone else. I'm doing it for me. So, I don't know. Maybe that resonates with someone else. But express your individuality. Allow your true self to shine because you're awesome. All right? And your vibe is going to find your tribe. So when you're being authentic, you're going to find those people who are going to resonate more with your authenticity. We have goodbye to the old, hello to the new. Again, you've finished one part of your life, and now a new and even better part is beginning. So we're just moving out some of those residual energies, just blow them away, making room for this new cycle to start, this whatever is going to bloom now, all right? We're just kind of in in this transitional period. It's not really a good idea to be starting brand new cycles during Mercury retrograde anyway. So maybe best to take a little pause. We're almost through it. Okay, just about. It ends on the 11th of August. We do still have the post-shadow period for about 2.5 weeks-ish after it ends, but it's usually not as bad. I usually find the working up to it, the pre-shadow, the worst. That's just for me. I know other people experience it like that too, but being smack dab in the middle of it, I know a lot of people have been like, what the hell? With this one. And again, it feels particularly mean, but it's not. It's meant to make us look at these things, make us forcibly look at these triggers and these old patterns, old belief systems, etc., so we can move them out because they're no longer serving us. So that's why we're getting hit so hard with things, because the universe is really wanting to bring in for us our most abundant timeline. But as I've used this analogy many times, we have to pour out the old stuff in our cup first so we have room to be able to accept the new into it. We have children here, so your connection with children is part of your life's purpose. I also feel like the connection to your inner child. So really tapping in to that childlike energy and just allowing yourself to be silly. That's what I was saying. Be authentic and silly and just yourself. Let your inner child come out and shine. That is going to be most abundant for you. It's going to attract your tribe. It's going to attract the people who want to invest in you. It's going to attract the opportunities that you are seeking. All of it. Okay? So dress how you want. Be how you want. Do what you want. You know, if you want to play with action figures and Legos, do it. Who cares? That is another thing I think that a lot of us, excuse me, sorry, a lot of us are releasing with this Mercury retrograde is that judgment and other people's expectations. You know, like we can't play with toys, quote unquote, that's immature and whatever, all those things that other people would say or judge us for. We're just kind of shrugging that off like it doesn't matter anymore. And awesome for that. Yay! We all need to be doing more of that. But shrugging off other people's expectations of what we should be and what we should have and what we should be doing right now. All these shoulds, okay? Tell the shoulds to fuck right off, okay? So that's what we need to do. But that's what I've been kind of going through a little bit that myself too. If I leave dishes in the sink, right now I'm by myself, right? So if I leave dishes in the sink, there's no one else here to judge me about that. No one else knows unless I tell them that there are dishes in my sink. So why am I trying to make myself uncomfortable, you know, when I'm overly tired and trying to do this and do this and do this? For what? For who? For what purpose? Like, who is here to judge me? Who is here to say anything? And if they did, I would just tell them off anyways. Because really. Okay, the 44 coming through again. It's 11:44 a.m. right now as I'm recording this. Holiday, next card coming through. The answer that you're looking for can be found during a vacation, retreat, or holiday getaway. So, again, treating yourself. Book the vacation. You're never going to get the time back. The money will always come back somehow. All right? So don't stop yourself with certain things because of stuff like that. Okay? Because you're going to regret it later that you didn't take the trip or you didn't, go to the dinner. You didn't, do whatever it was. Because again, whatever it is, the finances will come back around to you somehow, some way. The time and the opportunity may not. Okay? So we have to jump on these things. All right. Oh, man. I cut the deck again, and we have travel right underneath that. So we have the holiday card here and then travel. An upcoming trip proves to be life-changing in positive ways. So if someone has been waffling about taking a mini vacay or, going on a road trip or whatever it is that you are waffling over, do it. Do it. Perhaps it is a road trip, because I just said waffling. That is not a term I usually use. And I just saw, I don't even know if they're around anymore, but I just saw, rest stops with Waffle House. I just saw the sign for Waffle House. So, a rest stop. So, road trip. Okay? Do it. The universe is saying, do it. We also have, whom do you need to forgive? As you release old anger and resentment, you'll find that your wishes will come true. Now, when we release old anger and resentment and things maybe people have done to us, said to us, abuses that we have had in certain ways, that is not an invitation to open the door, for those things to happen again. When we say forgive, it doesn't mean that you need to necessarily let that person off the hook or let them back into your life by any means. No, it just means I'm going to let this go. I'm going to let this off of me. All right. It happened the way it happened. I cannot go back and change it. I'm going to try and spin it and look at the positive and see, what did it teach me? We also, your wish is granted. What you've asked for is coming true. So, guys, lots of messages of that. We have your desires within reach. The other message of your wish is granted. Goodbye to the old, hello to the new, which is a better part is beginning. So all of the old struggle, I feel, is over. Okay, now I'm hearing Florence and the Machine. The dark days are over. Okay? All the stuff that you have gone through and that you have suffered, you're going to be rewarded for it tenfold. Again, you didn't deserve it. It wasn't done to you on purpose. You didn't have to go through it for some sort of reason. All right? We also have new career. Your work focus is shifting in a positive, new, and successful direction. So I also think, too, like we mentioned, the more that you just embrace your authentic self, the more those individuals excuse me, and opportunities are going to come in for you. Yeah. So, let's get a message from the runes. I want to get a rune message here, and we're going to end off with that because I'm losing my voice fast here. Goodness. Okay, the first one we got is Righto. So that's the one that looks like the R. So your joys are signposts to your purpose and your destiny. The journey is as important as the destination. Focus on the now, rather than the burdens of the past or the unrealized future. Stretch. Aim for new horizons. Work within the rhythms of life and not against them. So again, I think this is just a moment of just being, right? The old is kind of clearing out. Right? We're doing a little maintenance on the garden here, letting those residuals move out and allowing something new to begin. But the new hasn't begun yet. So we're just in this really weird transitional time that kind of feels uncomfortable. Okay. And I can understand that. And yeah, been there too, guys. So you're not alone in this. This is all about going with the natural flow. Ride-ho offers an energy of personal freedom. If we reject others in time frames for us, their unreasonable expectations, their opinions, and instead look to our own sense of timing and our own feelings of rightness, and in which we are drawn, things that we are drawn to, experiences we want to have, the space and the freedom to choose wisely. Without anxiety. Yeah. So again, letting go of other people's expectations and just doing what we want to do when we want to do it. Unapologetically, even. All right. Next one we have is now this. This is the one that looks like a lowercase t. So this is the rune of the Elder Futhark. Now this concerns itself with the nature of desire versus need. So break free, excuse me, of obsessions. Possibly a new love will come into your life. You need less than you think. Be wise about separating needs from wants, and moderation is key. So you're allowed to want to be bougie. Okay? That's allowed. And you can be spiritual and bougie at the same time. Okay? But I think it's more so about not focusing on what you're lacking and focusing on what you have, because that's going to put you on the more abundant frequency to bring in the bougie stuff that you want. Okay? Because I don't think the people that I'm talking to here would have an issue with balancing that. Not at all. I think that you would be as generous as you would more so to other people than you are with yourself. I think it's about darn time that maybe you were a little bougie with yourself and treating yourself and not feeling guilty about it. But again, moderation is key. So everything in moderation, right? And also, women dieting, that's coming into my head right now too. Okay? Women try to restrict ourselves so much for a lot of things. All right? When we try to restrict ourselves completely, that's when we just want things more. Do you find that? All right? So have the pastry. Okay? But then have a salad later. Balance it. You can still have it. Okay? But in moderation. Okay? So, I just want to, side note, though, for anyone who has dealt with addictions in the past, I am not giving you permission to go have a glass of wine in moderation if you used to struggle with alcoholism. That's not what I'm saying. Okay? Nope. All right? We know the difference with that. If you think that's what I'm saying, you were looking for permission anyway, whether I was going to give it to you or not. And there's still work to do there. But you know what I mean? Okay? Moderation, guys. You can still have everything that you want. Just don't go in excess. It's all about finding the balance. That seems to be the running theme of things. Yeah? Okay. So let's get a final message here from the Keepers of the Light. I'm just going to grab, see, kind of, okay, yeah. We have Divine Amethyst here, or Holy Amethyst, Divine Alchemy. Move beyond your current challenges and focus on what you desire. Maybe also working with the energy of the crystal amethyst might also help you. It's a master healer. It does so many things. I was just talking about, I mentioned addiction, right? It's a powerful healer for anyone who's struggling with sobriety or healing any type of addiction things. So you're ready to move beyond any energies or situations that are no longer helpful to you and make space in your life for something more purposeful and abundant. You may feel the need for clearing out, not just mentally or emotionally, but physically too. There's a sense that you're moving beyond challenges and forging golden opportunities from stagnant or unhappy experiences. It's important to recognize that you're like a magician at this time, with the ability to use your thoughts, will, and actions to bring about life's fulfilling and dream-enhancing experiences and opportunities. It's important to focus on what you desire and not what you fear right now, because what you give your energy and will to is literally going to begin to flourish. So if you're focusing again on how much you're lacking, you're going to manifest more stuff you're lacking in. Okay? But if we're focusing on abundance, guess what? So call on Holy Amethyst to help you focus on opportunity. All right. This is all about alchemy, guys. All right. We're alchemizing the old into brand new, fresh, abundant, joyful, fulfilling opportunities. I love this energy. I love it. this is awesome. It's very, very positive and hopeful. 44 on the friggin' timer as I said that. Oh my goodness. All right. I don't think I have to say much else. I hope that this message resonated with you, and I hope it brought you something. I'm wishing you all so much love and so much joy. I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your weekend. Remember, you always make your own magic. And remember to stay magical, my friends. Much love. Bye.